Hey guys, hey Anita, how are you, my darling? So excited because we are getting ready to do some fun stuff. I'm going to try my best to get through this. I just realized how far I am. How am I? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. We're going to go through 4 systems that every coach needs. I put in the title that it is 4 systems that you must have. Um, and I do believe that you must have, right? Because it's all about you being able to get consistent clients. And one of the things that I've learned over this journey of mine is that you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So when it comes to getting coaching clients, you want different ways that you can generate leads. You want different ways that you can onboard new clients, right? So I'm going to talk to you guys about 4 different systems that I have set up in my business to help generate appointments for me. It just in case you've never seen this face before, I'm definitely going to be taking this replay out of our Facebook group and sharing it outside. So if you are watching this outside of the Business Law for Coaches, hello, hello, hello. My name is Neala Phillip. I am known as the Master Midwife for Coaches, and I help coaches find and market their unique message so they can consistently sign high-paying clients. And I'm really excited because these 4 systems are so simple that anybody can do it, right? Anybody can implement these systems. So definitely say hello to me if you are with me live. If you're on the replay, put hashtag replay below so I can come back and say what's up. Today, we're going to be working on Lucidchart. Okay, so Lucidchart, in case anybody wants to know the tool that we're using, that's what we're going to be working on today. And again, we're speaking about 4 different systems that you can implement in your business to be able to consistently generate appointments on your calendar. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff because it's really going to be good. All right, so I don't want to be here forever, so we're going to start with number 1. This is the first one. Hopefully at some point I will come up with names for these systems, some nice names that make sense at some point. But for now, we're just going to call it systems, okay? Just getting it ready for you, and then I'm going to give you guys the explanation of what each thing is, okay? All right. All right, so this is the first one. Um, And let me just make sure that I write it out well. So at least once I start speaking, you guys know what I am talking about. Okay. Okay. All right, so this is the first system that you want to make sure that you have in your business, okay? And this one is very simple. You create a lead magnet, people sign up for the lead magnet. Once they sign up for the lead magnet, when they get on the thank you page, they get a free presentation. And at the end of that presentation, you invite them for a free call, a complimentary call, okay? So let's talk about this just in case any of you guys are new coaches or aspiring coaches. You really don't know what I'm talking about. A lead magnet is pretty much something that you give away for free in return for an email address, okay? And usually when you give this tool away for free, it's something that gives them a quick win. It's something that solves a big problem that they have, which is what entices them to want to download, okay? So a lot of you are very familiar with lead magnets. Even if you don't have a lead magnet in your business yet, you've been put in other people's lead magnets. It's as simple as going into stores now, right? So when you go into Macy's, they ask you now for your number or your email. Burlington Coat Factory, they ask you for your number, your email. Any of the online stores, when you go to their first page of their website, you'll see their sign up, sign up for our email list and you'll get free shipping on your first order, or you'll get 25% off on your first order. I'm giving you these examples because I want you to understand that if you are not generating leads in this type of way in your business, then you're not going to be able to get to the point where you are signing clients consistently, right? So a lead magnet is pretty much what you give away for free, and you get your email address back. Now, when they sign up for this lead magnet and they go to the thank you page, then what you should have there is a 30 to 45-minute presentation, a high value presentation, okay? A presentation that is teaching your signature system. So let me give you an example of one of mine, right? So one of my lead magnets that I have is, which one do I want to go with? No, that one wouldn't work for this one. But I'll give you an example of what one of this would look like. So let's say that we'll use someone who's on tonight, Anita. Anita sells Tupperware, Tupperware plastic containers that can keep your food safe for people who do food planning, meal planning, or anything like that, right? So let's say Anita wanted to give away a 20% off coupon in return for your email address. So people go to the website, they see what she has, they go ahead, they sign up, they get this 20%. I'm using something very simple. But when they get to the thank you page, let's say there's a video there with Anita, and what she's talking about is her 3-step framework to being able to quickly meal plan in under 60 minutes in an hour. So maybe it's say, attention, all moms, check out my 3-step framework where I show you how to meal plan for the whole week in under an hour. That would definitely attract moms, right? Because moms are trying to do things very quickly, right? So in this presentation, it would be her job to do a few things. Number one, to make sure that they get to know her, and she does that through sharing her story. Number two, to make sure they see her as a expert, and if she talks about her framework and she talks about all the ways that she shows her clients and how she's able to meal plan in under 60 minutes, that is what positions her as the expert. And then the third part of that presentation needs to be an offer. So that offer should be a complimentary call. So that can sound something like Anita saying, well, now that you understand exactly what you need to do, how you shop, what Tupperware you're going to need, how you need to clean the food, how you need to set everything up to be able to do this in under 60 minutes. I want to give you the opportunity where we can get on the phone and talk about how I can serve, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you're a coach and you're a seasoned coach, or you've been on these streets for a long time, the truth is, with that example that I just gave you, you understand what I'm talking about. You should understand what I'm talking about, okay? So the presentation needs to do two things: help people get to know you, and two, really position you as that expert. Because if those two are not in that presentation, then when you give the offer for a complimentary call, you're going to notice that not a lot of people book this call. All right, so it's really important. So this is a very simple sales funnel. And I don't like to call it a sales funnel, because the point of it is not to get sales. The point of it is to book appointments. So let's call it an appointment funnel, right? So the point of this funnel for you coaches is to share your value, get the email address, and get people on the calendar. Now, let's say 100 people download this freebie, right? And let's say 50 people of those 100 people actually watch the presentation. And let's say out of that 50 people, 10%, so 5 people book an appointment to get on the phone with you. I know that you can sign at least 2 out of that 5, even if you didn't have any sales call training, okay? So that is how it works, and that is how you get clients. Now, those other 95 people who may not book an appointment, what happens there is they join your group, they're on your list, they're going to continue open your emails. If you continue being consistent, more and more of them will start to book appointments with you. Okay, so I want you guys to give me a 1 in the chat box if you understand the number, that first simple system, while I get the second one ready for you guys. Okay, so just give me a 1 in the chat box if you guys understand the simple system that I just showed you guys and how you can make it work for you. Okay. All right, so this one is another one that's really, really easy. And again, I'm just doing these really quick for you because I want you guys to see what I'm talking about. Where did my arrow go? Hold on, guys, that's better. Okay, so this one is really, really simple. Instead of the lead magnet being a download that someone gets or something like that, with this second system, what you're doing is you're using a training as the lead magnet. So this one is a simple 2-step. The first one was like a 3-step: lead magnet, presentation, offer for a call. This one is straight 2-step, right? Send them to a training, offer a complimentary call. Okay, so example of this would be my fast track sales training that a lot of you guys have watched already. So that's something that we promote every day all over social media. That's another one that sometimes we run Facebook advertising to. It sends people to a 60-minute training where I'm teaching them my framework to be able to sign clients very quickly. And then at the end of the presentation, I'm offering them an opportunity to get on the phone to see how we can customize this system to fit their individual needs. Okay, so it is very straightforward. I don't have to go through this any further because I already went through what needs to be in the training. So if you're listening to me and you're a little stuck when it comes to what you put in your presentation, make sure that you stay with me. Okay, so before we get to number 3, let's recap one more time. The first sales funnel, the first appointment funnel you need is a lead magnet. From the lead magnet, they go to a presentation, and at the end of the presentation, you offer a complimentary call. The second appointment funnel you need is you send them to a free training. At the end of the training, you offer a complimentary call. Okay, so now the third one, which is really, really simple. Again, they're all so simple. So that's why I was excited to do this for you guys tonight, because they're all so simple. But I think because a lot of people don't know what they're doing, what happens is that they assume it's complicated, so they just don't do it. But if you take the time to set this up, and a lot of you who did the free challenge with me that we did a few weeks ago, you guys already created a lead page for your free challenge, which means you already tackled the trouble or the stress that some of you have behind tech. You already tackled it, you already pushed through, and you already created a lead page, right? So that means that all of these systems that I'm talking to you about tonight is something that you will be able to put together really quickly. The only thing you might have to do is record a training, right? Record a presentation if you don't have one. But in terms of creating a lead page, in terms of a lead magnet, all of you guys should have this already. And if you do not, then some question marks should be going off in your head right now, where you should be saying, okay, I know what I need to start creating. Okay, so let's get into this third system that I want to share with you guys. So this one starts like this. It starts with the lead magnet. Okay, and this time you get to make a little bit of money. So on the thank you page, what we do is we send them to a tripwire. This happens to be one of my favorites, not because of the money that you can make, but because you're able to qualify buyers very early. Because most of the time, if somebody purchased on your tripwire page, and don't worry, those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain more in a minute. Those who sign up for your tripwire page, guys, what you're doing is you're basically qualifying buyers. So if they buy, remember, what do we hear all the time? If someone buys from you once, it will be easier to get them to buy from you again and again, less convincing needed, right? So that first time, you want to try to turn your subscribers into buyers very quickly, and this funnel I'm teaching you guys right now will give you the opportunity to do that. Okay, so let's talk about this funnel. I need to add something here. Okay, so with this one here, first you send them to a lead magnet. Same lead magnet that you used above. You don't have to use a new lead magnet. Guys, you don't have to make this hard. You don't have to write another set of emails. Every single one of my funnels go to the same email sequence, right? So you don't need to make this very difficult. You can use the same lead magnet. The only difference is on the thank you page this time, once they sign up for that freebie, you're going to be selling them a small offer. Okay, so like for example, one of the ones that the newest funnel that I just set up, the lead magnet is the Master Your Message workbook, and on the thank you page, the tripwire page, I'm selling a $97 workshop for $17, and the time limit is 24 hours. Okay, so let me repeat that again. They go, they download the workbook. When they get to the thank you page, I'm offering a huge discount on one of my very valuable trainings, right? And basically they have 24 hours to take me up on that offer. Now, remember what I said, when people come through as leads, not everybody is going to buy right away. Okay. But the great thing about using the systems that I'm talking to you guys about is that whether someone buys or not, they're still going on your email list. So you still have the opportunity to build relationships with them. You still have the opportunity to send value, right? You still have the opportunity to let them get to know you, invite them to your live streams, all the stuff that you have going on. You still have the opportunity to do that, whether they bought from you or whether they booked an appointment in the front end, okay? So what's beautiful about this funnel is that I do most of my offers in the emails instead. And the reason why is because, as you can see, they're not going to a training. All right, so let me stop there for a minute because I think it's important that I help you guys in this area. I know that you're hearing on the internet right now a lot of people saying webinars are dead. Webinars are dead. Webinars are dead. I'm here to tell you tonight, webinars are not dead. Okay. The word webinar is getting dead. So a lot of people are coming up with new names like workinars and trainings and master classes, and right. People are coming up with different names to, make it more exciting because the word webinar is starting to become played out, but the actual strategy of a webinar will never be played out. Understand that when it comes to establishing yourself as a coach, as an expert, as a leader, it's all about teaching your audience. So if you're not out there teaching, that's probably why you're really struggling. And it doesn't matter what you sell, okay? I know that a lot of you have a mixture of people here in the group. It really doesn't matter what industry you're in, and it really doesn't matter what you sell. So I'm going to use Anita for an example again, and I'm going to use Anita, and the reason why I keep using Anita because Anita is not a coach. So I want to show you how what I'm teaching you can also work. It doesn't matter what you're doing, although all of my advice is specifically for coaches, it can work regardless. If Anita wants people to buy her Tupperware, she is going to have to prove why they need to do it. Why? Because number one, she's in the network marketing company, and hello, network marketing means millions and thousands of people in the same company with the same graphics, selling the same stuff with the same marketing. Ain't nothing different about it. So when it comes to growing, she has to set herself apart. So if Anita would be the one to start going out and doing some trainings and setting stuff up and teaching people about the meal planning, teaching people about the Tupperware and all the good stuff, she will position herself as an expert more than anyone else because teaching never fails. Teaching never fails, okay? So this is the reason why webinars will never be dead. And you could just change up the name, but trainings is where it's at. So with this third system that I'm showing you guys here, yes, they go to a lead magnet. Yes, they buy a tripwire. However, in the emails that they get, I still end up sending them to trainings because trainings is where people get to learn and people get to know you and just really, they're just valuable all the way around, okay? So with this system here, it starts with the lead magnet. Oh, hey, Linda, how are you, darling? So it starts with the lead magnet, then it goes to the tripwire, and then they get sent to a bunch of emails. And my advice, if you want to be able to get more bookings on your calendar, is that first couple of emails, it should be sending them to trainings so they can learn, okay? All right, so that's 3 systems so far. Let's show you the 4th one. So this one, I'm going to do it on this side of the page. And then I'll just do another recap again, just to kind of, for those of you who are now joining, to make sure that you're good. And then we're good to go. All right, this one is 2-step. Okay. So this is a lead magnet. And then this goes to an actual, not a training, but an appointment video. And I'll talk to you about I'll talk to you guys about the difference. Okay. All right, and with this appointment video, there's two types of appointment videos you can do. Again, I'll explain all of this to you once I set it up where you guys can see. Make sure you guys are taking notes, okay? This is important, what I'm sharing with you guys. So the first one is a story appointment video, and the next one is a case study appointment video. Okay. All right, so let's talk about this fourth system that coaches must have if you want to get to the point where you're consistently signing clients, okay? Okay, so number one is the lead magnet. As you can see, it's always the lead magnet. That's the only way you're going to get their email. And then what happens is on the thank you page, instead of them going to a training, they're going to what I call an appointment video. Okay. So the difference between a training and an appointment video is that an appointment video is scripted specifically for sales. Okay. So one of my system that I have that's set up like this, the freebie is my 16 responses to sales calls objections. And when they download this freebie on the thank you page, it takes them to a video. It's about 5 to 7 minutes long. And I'm basically going through a script where I tell them you activate the pain. Okay, let me give you guys a formula. I didn't plan on doing this, but since we're talking about this, let me give you guys a formula. So you basically talk about the problem first. So P would be problem. And then A would be activate the pain. So this is the problem, and this is the pain that you're feeling because of the problem. Then you show them how you resonate with them by giving them a 3-sentence story of how you had that problem, right? And then you offer up the solution, okay? So I'm gonna say it again. You talk about the problem, then you activate the pain by talking about the pain that they feel from that because of that problem, okay? And then you resonate with them by sharing with them a time where you had that problem, okay? And then you go ahead and you give them the solution, okay? So for me, I can't remember word for word what my appointment video is like, but I know it starts off with me introducing myself, talking about people struggling with consistently generating, consistently signing clients. I talked about the fact that it's making them frustrated. I talked about a story of the times when I would be in the kitchen crying. I remember when I first started my business many, many years ago, there were times when I was hiding from my kids because I didn't want them to see how stressed out I was with everything that was going on. So I remember one time I was behind the fridge crying and I heard my son come down, and I basically shared that story just to show them that I know what it feels like to be in a point in your business where like you really want this to work and it's just not working, okay? And then I basically tell them what I did to get out of it and offer them the opportunity to get on the phone with me so we can talk about how I can help them do the same, okay? So give me a 1 in the chat box if you guys understand that. Hey, Madeline, darling, how are you? Give me a 1 in the chat box if you guys can understand that one, okay? So basically you're sending them to a lead magnet, and then you're sending them to an appointment video. The first example I gave you is the story example, okay? So that's the story example. The second type of appointment video you can send them to is a case study video, okay? So this one is when you talk about your clients, some type of, case study that you have of how you help someone else do what you do. Okay, so for example, I'm going to just throw something out there. Excuse me, if I wanted to do something like that, a case study video, I can again introduce myself, talk about the problem, activate the pain. And then I could also tell them about a client of mine who started off with this type of messaging, feeling confused, didn't know where she was at, frustrated because she didn't know how to craft her messaging. But once we started working together, here is the new message we created. Since we were able to create this message, she's been able to position herself online. She's been able to sign clients, and that is a case study video, because at the end of that video, you say, listen, if you want the same type of results that Jane got, then I want you to click the button below and book an appointment, right? So that is pretty much the 4 simple systems that all of you should have if you're looking to take your business to 6 figures or beyond. And the reason why I'm saying this is because listen, I'm saying this because for my clients, when they come to work with me, they're creating programs that's anywhere from like $1,500 to $5,000, right? And when you're creating these type of programs, you don't have 100 people saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. I'm just being honest. You're not going to have 100 people knocking down your door to give you that type of money. Yeah, you'll have 100 people knocking down your door to pay you $47 or $27. But when you start getting up there, you start getting less prospects. So this is the reason why what I'm teaching you tonight is so important. You can't have all your eggs in one basket. You cannot just be focusing on posting on social media, hey, book a call, right? Let's talk about that, because if you only have 2,000 friends on Facebook, trust me, there's only about 20 to 50 people that's seeing that post, right? So you want to have different systems set up. And then why I love what I'm teaching you, another reason why this is very valuable is because some of you are afraid of selling. Some of you are either afraid or you don't like it. And this makes your job so much easier because you don't have to sell anything. In all 4 systems that I'm sharing with you, you're only offering something for free. And you're letting the system do the work for you. Does that make sense, guys? Just give me a 2 in the chat box if that makes sense, right? So with every single one, you're offering, like right now, I'm here, I'm teaching you guys. My offer for today is sign up for our Master Your Message Challenge, right? Because it's easy for me to give you that because it's free. I'm not selling you anything. And this makes it so much easier for you guys who find it hard to sell. This is easy because you let the system do the work for you. Okay, so this part is really important. Now let's talk about the other 2 parts that's very important. Now, the number 1 part that's I see 2s. Okay, good. Hey, Javon, how are you doing, my darling? Hey, Stephanie, how are you doing, my darling? So let me tell you the other 2 things that's really important if you want this to work for you. So number 1 is your messaging, okay? The reason why this works for me is because of my messaging. I'm going to give you an example. So this system right here, number 4 system that I showed you guys, the lead magnet that I use is 15 simple responses to common sales calls objections. I'm going to say it again. 15 simple responses to common sales call objections. Now, I want you to listen to that, because this is a valuable lesson that I learned last year that has changed a lot for me when it comes to the type of leads I attract, right? So last year, in the beginning of the year, I put out my coaching starter pack. A lot of you have that, right? And when I put it out, my reasoning was, anybody who downloads this, it got to be people who are coaches. They're the only ones who will find this valuable. They're going to think it's valuable because I'm giving a lot of stuff in it and it's taking them through steps. And I had all these reasons why the coaching starter pack was the perfect lead magnet for me. Well, once I went through a coaching program that I did at the beginning of the year last year, and I learned a lot of the things that I do now, I realized that my freebie was attracting a lot of newbies. Okay, this is big. Okay, I realized that my freebie was attracting a lot of newbies. So even though people were falling in love with me, they were buying stuff from the store, they're coming in the group, they're supporting, yeah, right? Not necessarily the people who will come into my coaching programs. Okay, so that's what made me create the 15 simple responses to common sales call objections. Here's why. Because the only people who would be remotely interested in downloading that is an established coach who is already doing sales calls. Give me a 3 in the chat box if you guys just caught that right there, because that should have saved a lot of you. Like right now, you should be like, oh my gosh, I need to change my freebie. That's why I'm attracting these type of people, right? So your freebie, your messaging, let's get back to the messaging, because that's really what it is. It's not about what the freebie is. It's about what you name this freebie, what you name your lead magnet. Right? So I could have simply named my lead magnet anything, but the fact that it says 15 simple responses to sales calls objections, that means that I'm strategically targeting more established coaches who are already generating leads, who are already on the phone. They're probably not signing as much clients, which is why they would see my checklist as valuable. Okay, so I need you guys to see the first point here that I'm making. The first point is your messaging is everything. That's the first point. The first point is your message that you put out there is what's attracting the people who you are attracting. So if you feel like you are not attracting the right clients or enough clients or whatever it is that you're struggling with that has to do with attracting clients, almost always it's because of the messaging. All right, so that's the first thing that you need to know to make these systems work for you. Choose a good lead magnet and name it well. Okay, now the second thing that you need to know for this to work for you is how to put together a good presentation. Okay, and this one is